This is Chris Hoy. Thank you for joining me on Create with Chris for this acrylic painting tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to paint this adorable bunny door hanger. This is a fun design that can be painted in a quick afternoon. Nothing special is needed, just acrylic paint and a few brushes. Whether you are a beginner or painting for fun, this is simple, easy, and impressive. This kit is made of MDF, and because it is a wood product, I do seal everything with multi-purpose sealer. I'm using a 1.5-inch flat wash, which is a very soft bristle brush, excellent for putting on a base coat smoothly and evenly, and it doesn't leave any brush marks or ridges. I do hold the plaque up so that I don't get paint all over the table. I paint away from the edges so I don't get any drips that run down the side edges. Works perfectly every time. It will take 2 coats. I wanted to put polka dots in the background. I'm using a sponge spouncer, which is a round sponge. It's great for adding those perfect circles. Also, I wanted some texture on the bunny, so I'm using the spouncer to kind of tap on Snow White. It does leave a little bit of texture, but I thought that looked really cute like bunny fur. I am switching over to my oval wash. Again, I'm painting from the center out so I don't get drips down the side, especially with the inside of the ears. Don't want any paint to drip down the sides because that makes it not fit as well, as the paint will create some thickness where it slips in. White always takes 2 coats. With the second coat, again, I'm using the spouncer, and I think you can see how it leaves a little bit of a dimple texture. Perfect for fur. I'm just tapping it on evenly so that I get a really nice smooth coverage. And doing the same thing with the inside of the ears and the nose. Again, pulling the paint from the inside out so I don't get any drip down the side edge. That's so important. And it really will save a lot of time in the end because you don't have to worry about cleaning up the edges. You could, if you wanted to, like on the nose, paint the side edges, but I like that look of the laser cut. The little carrot, I am painting Spiced Pumpkin. I will need 2 coats with this. Using my angle brush, I just am a little bit careful to keep that paint from going down the sides. The stem of the pumpkin is foliage green. Just being real careful with the way that I apply the paint to keep those edges nice and clean. The letter H, I'm just using soft black. I thought that would be a nice, impactful color on that. And you can change the colors up to anything that you like. I thought lavender on the background would be really Eastery as well. Second coat always covers a little bit quicker and a little bit smoother. I'm using my oval wash. It also has super soft bristles, so I don't end up with any brush stroke marks. Just saves a lot of time in the end, and it always looks a little bit better if you have a nice, smooth, clean surface. Make sure to let every paint dry before you add the next coat of paint, because it will lift. This is Red Spice, and I just thought I would add some design on it. Did not like the way that looked, so I went over it with Spiced Pumpkin and smoothed it out and just kind of blended that red spice in just to make it look not like just such a flat color. I have a little bit of plantation pine on the toe of my angle, just kind of dabbing it on there to give it the look of greenery and foliage. Nothing fussy, just breaking up that so it's not so very plain. Even on black, I went back and put a second coat just to make sure it was nice and smooth. Arranging all the pieces to make sure they fit nicely and look good. Because the eyes have to be painted separately, I did take a pencil and pencil mark where I wanted the eyeballs to be. Using soft black and my painter's pal as a template to create the oval eyes just makes it so easy to make perfect eyes. Swooping in a little bit of Snow White to give a little bit of gloss to it and adding a few dip dots for sparkle. My Epic script liner and lamp or soft black to add the eyebrows and the eyelashes. To create the cheeks, I've loaded my stencil brush with cotton candy and I'm just dry brushing and dry brushing and dry brushing until I get the exact intensity that I'm looking for. Thought it would be fun to add a few little dip dots on the ears, and I'm just using Snow White and my stylus. Just that looks so cute. I think everything looks good. Decided I wanted a little bit of design on the H, and I'm using the Uniball white pen. I love this. Really a nice opaque coverage, easy to use. Using my Identipen to add stitch lines around the outside of the plaque. I find it so much easier for me to hold my hand in place and just kind of rotate the plaque. Makes it more uniform and seems to come out better. Using Quick Grip to attach all the pieces to the plaque. I like this really well. It is a really strong holding glue. And once you put it in there and get it in place, it will not come apart. Sometimes I use tacky glue that works really well also. This gives you a little bit of time to scooch it around until you get it exactly where you want it to be, but it is fantastic glue. Just putting a few dots, it doesn't take much to get that on there. And I think that looks good. I wanted to create a messy bow, and I've taken 2-foot strips of ribbon, and I'm cutting them into 4 pieces. So each section, I just folded it in half. I'm not particularly careful about measuring it perfectly. I just cut it in half and fold it over and cut it in half again. So each section is about 6 inches long. I'm stacking them kind of like a pinwheel, alternating colors and textures, just so you don't have a whole stack of blue going the same direction and pink. But I did go with the turquoise, the pink, and the white. Just kind of staggered them until it gets nice and thick and full. It's such a fun little bow. After I get it thick enough that I'm happy with it, I take a piece of thin wire and I'm just wrapping it around the center and twisting it until it's nice and tight and then fluffing it up. I thought the ends would look a little bit cuter if they were cut at an angle. Didn't care if it was cut all one direction. I just looked for that little angle. I did not cut every single piece. Most of them were cut at an angle. If you've not done these kind of bows before, they're super easy and they're just really cute. And they're not fussy. I think that's why I like it so well, because you don't have to, you just put it together and fluff it up and it just makes a fun little bow. I use jute and you can tie the knot in the front or in the back. I kind of like it in the back. So I'm just tying a big fat knot in the back. And then that little wire that I nestled the ribbon together with, I'm poking it in the hole and wrapping it around the jute. And then once you get it in place, you go back and just fuss with it a little bit, trim any loose areas, and look how cute that is. I love how this turned out and hope you give it a try. Everything I use will be listed below. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to hear from you. Be sure to check out my other videos. Share, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of when my next video is created. I hope you learned a few new tips, tricks, and techniques to make your painting life a little easier and a lot more fun. Thank you for joining me, and I look forward to our next painting adventure together.